Well, good Friday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your weather update here on your February the 27th, 2026. Well, we're finally getting some sunshine out there to slowly break down here for late in the day on your Friday, and we're going to see a pretty nice weekend. I see we'll see some nice mild temperatures, but we are going to cool down briefly next week. We have a cold air wedge still forecast to come in as we head Monday and Tuesday, and then boy, do things really warm up heading into next week. In fact, toward the end of next week into next weekend, and we could be flirting with some record high temperatures. Now, before we get going, if you live anywhere here across North Georgia and you're new here to our YouTube channel, let me introduce myself. I'm meteorologist Greg Majewski, and I'm on a mission to build a 24-hour weather channel, professional broadcast quality here across North Georgia, and I could sure use your help. All you got to do is subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and just make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates. All right, let's go ahead and get into this update as we take a live look up there at Dahlonega as we've got some sunshine starting to break through those clouds out there, looking pretty nice there in Dahlonega for this afternoon. Also seeing the sunshine starting to break those clouds into Lake Lanier as well, looking pretty nice, and not a bad weekend to go ahead and head on out to the lake, I think, this weekend with some very nice, pleasant weather expected. Now, let's go look at our local radar. This is the rainfall amounts we had across our area overnight. Boy, did the models kind of miss this one. We got a substantial amount of rain. Some of the highest rainfall amounts were there across North Metro of Atlanta. They had some areas up here that got close to like 4 inches plus in this zone. Also got over 4 inches over there near Rome as well. So very, very wet and rainy night to say the least, but things are improving as we're seeing the clouds slowly beginning to erode out of our area. That's the good news here, and we're going to be setting up for a pretty nice weekend. We may have a few clouds around for tomorrow morning to start, but again, a lot of sunshine, I think, by the time we head into the afternoon. Now, let's look at our regional radar perspective. Again, watching that front slowly shift on to the south. Temperatures warming up nicely here this afternoon. Again, to the 60s for this afternoon's highs, and they'll be milder still as we go through the weekend. Looks like Sunday most likely will be our warmest of the 2 days. Now, let's go take a look at our forecast model data here. We're looking at the latest 12Z North American model here as we're going out for the next 84 hours. And all quiet. Looking very good as we go throughout the day on Saturday. Looking very nice indeed. And going into Sunday as well, looking at some pretty decent weather as that continues to the dry spell. And then as we go into Monday, that's when we're going to start noticing a little bit of a northeastern flow here start to develop here as we're going to be seeing a cold air wedge kind of coming in here. So it's going to drop the temperatures down, and we'll probably not get out of the 50s on Tuesday, but don't worry, this is going to be very short-lived. We're going to see a quick rebound on those temperatures going into Wednesday, and they really warm up here toward the end of next week. Now, beyond that, let's go take a look at the European model as we take you through the rest of the week here going into next week. Again, no major storm systems coming at us. Very limited rainfall. There's a system off to the west here. We got a little bit of ridging here taking place. There's a slight chance you might see some rain on Thursday, but nothing substantial. Next system doesn't really start moving in here until we go into following weekend into Saturday and Sunday. And now this is with a cold front. Could be some thunderstorms with this. I don't know if it'll be severe just yet or not, but as we're flipping the calendar into March and it being meteorological spring, we need to keep a watchful eye on any cold front that comes in, especially if it's going to get as warm as I think it's going to get going in toward the end of next week. All right, so let's go look at our forecast maps. Again, I'll kind of watch the timestamp here on the top. This is from our friends from the National Weather Service here. As we jump into your Saturday, again, we got high pressure on top of us going for tomorrow. So what that means is the wind's going to be pretty light overall, probably very calm for most everybody. And as we go into your Sunday, looking very nice there as well. Sunday looking good, and that'll continue straight into the rest of the week. Monday and Tuesday looking pretty quiet, and going into Wednesday looking quiet. And then as we go into Thursday, again, maybe a slight chance of a shower in here. I'm going to wait and see what the models do here going into the tail of the run. And you notice it's a very broad brush that the National Weather Service is painting here across the area. But we could see a chance of rain, especially going into Saturday, I think, as that next cold front kind of drops down toward us. So expect some changes on our forecast for days 6 and 7. All right, so here's our forecast for Saturday. Mostly sunny. There might be some areas to the east and south that may hold on to partly sunny skies a little bit. There's going to be some residual clouds in the wake of the storm system that's clearing today. Otherwise, not looking too bad. Overnight lows, not bad at all. Everybody in the 40s, even around 50 over toward Athens and Calhoun at 44, 43 in Cedartown, 41 up there in Blue Ridge. Daytime highs, looking good. 60s and 70s out there. Again, the eastern areas over toward Hartwell, Athens, Monroe, Monroe might have partly sunny skies, maybe not as much sunshine, so they're a little bit cooler, but warmer there in the west. And regionally, the whole southeast is looking pretty nice, except for some thunderstorms down toward Jacksonville at 69. Look at Mobile, 78 degrees there, 74 in Memphis, and 65 up in Asheville. All right, here we go with our 7-day forecast. As again, we're looking pretty good there through the weekend. Upper 60s there in Gainesville, but again, 70s on the other side, 74 on Sunday. Then here comes the wedge. Notice we're only 61 degrees on Monday and 54 on Tuesday, but that wedge is forecast to shallow out and clear out pretty quickly. We're right back up near 70 degrees on Wednesday, 72 on Thursday, and yeah, I got 78 degrees there on Friday. Western areas like toward Rome probably will be dealing with some 80-degree temperatures going into Friday, so that's what I'm saying. We have to be careful when we get that warm, we get well into the 70s or near 80 degrees. If we introduce any kind of cold front into the area going into spring, that's when you got to watch out for the potential for severe weather. Not right now. I'm not really calling for that right now as far as anything like a major outbreak, because it doesn't look like it's an overly strong system, but still the possibility will be there. And we're going to keep you up to date all severe weather season long. In fact, this is where the 24-hour streaming channel eventually is going to ride. So again, if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, we could use your help. We're trying to build up to 10,000. So please hit that subscribe button and make sure, very importantly, hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates, because if you don't do that, YouTube will not let you know that we updated our forecast. All right, you guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday. You guys have a great and safe weekend. Bye-bye.